We have such power over Palestinians that if it were our mission to slaughter babies, we would have done a better.
It's out there. What do you mean we would have done a better job?
We would have done a better job at genociding.
If it was for a mission.
We could have sprayed them. We could have ended.
Well, you know that they're all concentrated in one place in Gaza. We can make a mistake, couple of mistakes, and
What way to think if that's for a mission, that's not a mistake.
but still, Are you familiar with the Second Intifada?
Second Intifada, when it comes to the history and stuff, I will go to historians who are going to be neutral or Palestinian leaning.
Okay.
I will go to people who are Palestinian. So I don't know if you're going to be telling me a good telling of this as we go forward.
Obviously, I'm a Jew, so I'm I'm probably gonna deceive you. So I don't want to tell you what's happening.
I'm not saying you're gonna deceive me, but I don't know. You're within a country, within the conditions of your country, you're going to be taught lines and words and
Of course, we are indoctrinated to lie. That's what we are doing since birth.
See, bro, listen, I don't blame you. I don't blame you if you're indoctrinated to something and you don't know anything some other way. I'm not gonna fully blame you, but those soldiers, right? I will have to. I can't say that all the Israeli citizens and whatnot, even though a lot of them wanted it to continue. I'm not gonna say it's their fault. If they don't know any better, if it's all they've known, that's what their parents have taught them, if that's what the government has taught them.
That's kind of exactly what I think when I speak with a lot of Muslims. I think you guys were indoctrinated so hard and basically believe now in what I call the baklawa of lies, that unfortunately you guys go now astray from Islam, from the Quran, from your Quran. Actually,
we don't have this hasbara thing, right? You heard of hasbara?
I'm not doing hasbara, by the way.
Okay, there's that hasbara thing. There's also, do you know that thing that, bro? I heard this.
But I'm doing actually dawah. I'm doing Jewish dawah.
I'm interested in Jewish dawah. Look, when it comes to the Jewish tradition, there's something I respect about Jewish tradition. It's where you have this this moment, when they do this. They get a cup and they pour wine or drink into it, and they let it overflow into the bowl around it. Have you heard of this?
No, not really.
You haven't heard of that? Okay. Have you heard of the thing? Was it every year, any sort of agreement made with anyone, any oath, they do a whole and it says all the oaths that are other than the ones done with all the oaths done with non-Jewish people, broken. Is that a thing? Is that a tradition?
Maybe you refer to Yom Kippur. Maybe?
Yom Kippur, where the oaths, anything to do with the other people, that is who are not within the tribe of the Jewish ethno thingy, that's all broken.
That's what?
That's all it doesn't count. It's all washed away. There's nothing to do with us. So if I was a Jewish person, you
mean when we repent once a year in order to clean our sins?
Bro, there's more to the tradition than that.
Yeah, but you guys do also Ramadan in that sense, no?
No, we don't do a thing where it means break the let's say I have a contract and I'm a non-Muslim, you're a Jewish person, right? Or I'm a Jewish person, you're Muslim.
Okay.
Right? And then when the Jewish person does my Yom Kippur, my contract with you is null and void. I don't have to take it seriously, right? But as a Muslim, I have to take the contract seriously.
You're taking it now dearly out of context. But I want to ask you a question.
Out of context? What is the context?
Because we are committing and continuing the covenant for generations, for more than 3,500 years.
The covenant between who? Between you
between us and God, yeah.
You and Jewish people, you're keeping the covenant between you and God. God has
of course, something that was transferred from generation to generation to generation. By scripture, by culture, by the prophetic tradition, by the connection to the land of Israel, that now we are back, alhamdulillah.
But when I do a contract with you and you do a contract with me, I don't have a day that says, I don't have Yom Kippur that says, listen, this thing is null and void, or I don't have to take it seriously.
No, but you take it out. You misinterpret that. You are actually distorting that. But it's something deeper than that. Allah, the word of Allah is never to be broken. The promise of Allah, right?
Yeah, it's not to be. But as a religious person, you're supposed to break these contracts.
It's something that is way, way, way higher than the status of the covenant between human beings. The promise of Allah. So therefore, when Allah made a covenant with us, the wa'id of Allah to us is eternal. Now, when we broke the covenant and we didn't do our part in the contract, we were punished. And we also know that we were punished. But Allah is always forgiving, and He can reward and punish whenever He wants, when He wants. That's also Quranic principle, and also principle from the Torah. Many of you now, wait a second, if I may, let me finish. Many of you now say that the covenant of Allah with us is cancelled, and that's a takfir. Because Allah cannot break His own covenant. People, human beings, they can break the covenant, but Allah is always forgiving. So if people or person repent and make what it needs to come back to the covenant of Allah, Allah always forgives. So my question is, could it be that Allah forgave us, blessed us, returned, by His grace, returned us back, and now you guys go against the promise of Allah by resisting us?
By resisting, that is, if the covenant on our side has not been broken, right? And we're still in respect, like God is merciful. We understand God is merciful, right? People shouldn't emphasize all the time, Allah is warmongering.
No, He's punishing and He merciful. It's not the only one, this thing or the other.
You're taking too far of the merciful thing. Like, the merciful, He's so merciful, but it's not like silly. He's not.
No,
Allah is not like.
Allah is like, it's like a big, not father like the Christians see, but Allah, depending on your actions, can reward and punish you, right?
Yeah.
Can we agree about that?
Yeah, Allah can give you reward and punish you, but even if a person is doing wrong, but they're still rich, but they're doing wrong, they can still get reward in this life. In the hereafter, they might not.
My only question is, my only question and criticism is that I think that you, the Ummah, you do not realize that Allah reward us, and you reject the promise of Allah to us, and now you're getting punished because you reject His wa'ida.
We're not getting punished. We're getting
look at all of the Muslim countries who are anti-Israel. Yemen, the Palestinians, Pakistan, Somalia, all of the countries, all of them, do they have the blessing of Allah? Comparing to UAE, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, do they have the blessing of Allah? Be honest.
Pakistan, all of these nations, in terms of we don't see the blessings don't have to just be in reward, in
in the dunya.
It doesn't have to be in getting material things.
For sure, I agree.
I think Israelis were blessed.
I agree, but where's the victory of Allah? Where's the famous victory of Allah to the Ummah? That a nation like us, we are only 15 million and you guys are 2 billion. Where's your victory?
Look, in terms of the military, these things, these are like these concepts, these ideas. When you're in your position, right? You're in your position. I'm in my position. When you see your boss, people are like, "Oh, the boss, man. Why is he being like this? Why is he being like this?" Until you're in the boss's position, you can see everything. But from your position, you might not be able to see everything.
But maybe we see it in perspective of years.
One side or a small side. God, you're not even, if you're not the boss, you're not even the prime minister, the president, you're not even no one's God. God has the idea and understanding of everything.
Of course, no one's God. No one is trying. I mean, I'm not trying, God forbid, astaghfir Allah, to be God. No way. But I see what's happening in history. I see that we came back. The prophecies that our prophets foresaw with the grace of Allah start to come true. And you guys resist now the fulfillment of the prophecies. And maybe you guys...
no one wants the world.
Maybe
world conflict.
Maybe you guys, with a lot of ignorance and arrogance, you climb such a high ladder, especially of arrogance, claiming that you know what Allah wants, and you see what's happening in front of your eyes by the fulfillment of the prophecies when we come back. And you cannot climb down from the ladder of arrogance because you have a lot of ego and a lot of superiority and supremacy complex.
Me, I'm a humble guy, right?
Maybe you are a humble guy, but the Ummah...
And I know a lot of Muslims who are very humble people, right? And there are Jewish people in Stamford who are humble people in the UK. What I'm saying is that God, the reward from God This you see as a reward. You think this material stuff, having the land is a reward. Listen, look at the power you had when that land was not there. The power you had was, and you will see it in the USA, you will see it in other countries. And that power is now, the more you accumulate that wealth and the more you establish your spiritual energy into that land. Have you not understood that God gave you the entire earth already? He said, look, this one piece of land, just don't enter it, right? He said, you can't come back here.
You mean Israel? You mean the land of Israel?
The land of Israel. He said, look, one day it will be yours, but you can't come back. I haven't said that you can come back, right?
What do you mean,
And
like
now-
yeah, that we are not? You refer to the idea that we are not allowed to come back?
In this particular piece of land, you remember Israelis will in Judaism it says Israelis will, like something about the world, you know, there'll be a lot of goyim and they'll have like 7 slaves or 10 slaves each, something like that. There's something going on
Wait a
like
second.
that.
Do you know what he's talking about?
I don't know.
Because you know, there's another friend of mine here, sitting and listening to what you say, and I must say that you are speaking with respect. Maybe I disagree with a lot of things, but you speak with respect, so we can have a decent conversation. But I think that you have a lot of ideas that you are portraying on us that are not really who we are, and maybe a lot of distorted information that I don't know who you heard it from.
It's a memory thing. It's a memory thing. It's a memory thing. Take it with a grain of salt in it. I'm just wondering if you know what these stories. I don't know if you will confirm it. That's again, it wouldn't be in your attention.
Because I'm listening, and I really tried to say, doesn't ring a bell. It doesn't ring a bell.
No.
But you said the Yom Kippur thing and the contract thing wasn't that as well. But
No,
if I after this I look at the Yom Kippur and the contract and how it works and breaking contracts with people and all that. If I check that out and I confirm that I was right, but that doesn't matter. To be honest, the truth speaks for itself. When it comes to Israel and the land, right? I see it that the Israelis gained a lot of strength and power monetarily, financially, all over the world, right?
Just before that, one question, if I may. Do you believe that we, the Jews of today, are the same Bani Israel of the Quran and the Torah?
No. I think they're very, very different. I think everyone in the past, they're going to be more honest, more loyal. There's going to be a lot of deceitful people. In terms of nowadays, people are all for this. When you speak to someone, they're thinking, what is the interest I can get from this person?
Okay.
What is the interest? You speak to your friend, they're like, oh, do I have job
Okay, so
opportunity?
basically you say that the Jews of today,
Yeah,
like
rubbish.
me, I'm not Bani Israel, right?
You're not Bani Israel.
That's what you
Like-
say, right?
I don't. Maybe you're like 5%, 3% on your belief. I think the Jew. Closer you get to the times of Moses, the closer you get to the truest Jewish people, the ones who are going to go to heaven. The closer, further.
So
away
you
get
see
from
Bani
time-
Israel as like something genetic and racial.
Israel was a person. Where the religion was established. Moses is your guy. Moses is your main prophet. You know, is that
Right.
him? Abraham was which? Oh, Moses.
Moses, yeah.
Moses, yeah, he's your main guy.
Yeah.
Anyone close to Moses, he was the guy, yeah? He was the G.
Okay.
He was the one.
Okay.
As time goes on, the human interest, the human desire starts working its way into things, right? And it's done it with Christianity, it's done it with Judaism.
Can I ask you another question with that? Why did Hamas and the Islamic resistance, when they are going to battle against us, they always refer to verses from Surah Al-Isra, Surah 17, known as Surah Bani Israel. Why they do it when they fight us?
Because it's instigating. Wait. Firstly, if I was fighting against a group of people, and I know they misunderstood this something, right? And also, plus, imagine me, I've had my family just taken out and everything, and now I've joined.
Yeah, but why this specific surah that is Surah Bani Israel, which is addressed to Bani Israel, why they use that surah against us?
The one you spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Because
No,
probably relating-
earlier I spoke about Surah Al-Baqarah, but this is Surah Al-Isra, also known as Surah Bani Israel. But again, my question is, if we are not Bani Israel, why did they refer to us? Why do they refer to us this surah if we are not Bani Israel?
I'm not chanting this. I've looked at the hadith and the understandings of the understanding of Quran to do with this.
You understand that there's a big contradiction here that on the one hand you say that we are not Bani Israel, but on the other hand you refer to us criticism set against Bani Israel. So
It's like descendant behavior, right? Later on down the line. I'm not saying there is revolts of the past, yeah. I'm saying right now, in the way people are behaving now, this is not to the benefit of Israel. You may be thinking the land is there and it's the people's right now, right? I think it was in a better position. It would be in a lot better position. The people of Israel would be in a lot better position down the line, right? If they had just continued on, being in the USA, living in Palestine, like side by side.
you mean under Islamic rule?
Under Islamic rule? Were they not under Islamic rule when they got away from the the Turks helped the Israelis get away from the Christian persecution or something? Were they not under Islamic rule then?
No. It's that's a cherry picking. That's a cherry picking of history. That I heard it a lot, but but basically you say that it's okay that Jews gonna be under Islamic rule, right?
No.
No?
I'm saying this.
You
right?
don't think it's okay that Jews will live under Islamic rule?
No. Jewish people can live in Muslim countries, in atheist countries,
Right, under Sharia law,
anywhere in the world.
Yeah, under Sharia
and
law.
that is where they get strength. When you start
Right.
becoming so focused into one
Right,
place,
because you need to be strong and you need to be on top with power, and Jews should be under you.
Jews should be under me. No. A Jewish person come into law, I'd be okay with that. A Jewish person coming into a presidency, a seat beside me, let's say I was a ruler, I'd be okay with that. And when I begin looking into this, that a lot of people can't become Jewish, very hard to become Jewish, and plus Yom Kippur. When I look into like the contract thing, breaking of contracts or whatnot, then I'm like, wait, if more Jewish people come into power, come into presidency, they're gonna start taking me out of prison. They're gonna start taking my people who are faithful out of it. Look. If you genuinely think Israel is in a better position now, be happy in the position you're now in. When people smile, right? People smile. When the more you smile, the more you love something. When it flips, when love flips, it becomes hatred. Right?
Unfortunately, you guys are so addicted to resistance and to wars, and you cannot understand that
we're not bombing. You bombed every country.
Wait. Hold on. You want to tell me that we are the aggressors and Iran is the victim?
Iran was funded by the CIA. Iran was to be, it was to help them come in.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
You see, you guys, instead of taking responsibility and accountability on your wrongdoings, you will find an excuse, not to take responsibility, and that's unfortunately.
I like truth.
That's unfortunately what. Wait, let me ask you a question. Who declared about being an enemy? Israel declared Iran to be enemy, or was it the other way around?
What's happened?
Hello? Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah. So who declared to be an enemy? Israel declared Iran to be an enemy, or was it Iran? Or was it Iran declared that Israel is an enemy?
Iran, in terms of its nuclear program, it doesn't have.
No. We started. We had actually diplomatic relationship with Iran. When the Islamic Revolution happened, they one-sidedly declared us as enemies.
Oh, so the CIA couped Iran that exists now.
So basically, the Iran that exists now is the CIA.
No, the Iran that exists now, in terms of its what it proliferates, right? What it proliferates. If a place is taken over, obviously, what happens then is that the interest of the person who takes over seeds its way.
So you want to tell me that Khomeini was controlled by the CIA, and CIA told him to declare Israel as an enemy?
It's not about complete control. It's about having 30% control, 33% control, or interest. Some of your interest in the nation.
It's so sad to see that.
King Faisal, for example, Saudi King Faisal.
Just say, if I may say something, it's so sad to see someone who is genuinely intelligent person sound like a child that cannot take responsibility and accepting even the most simple historical facts.
I take responsibility.
One second.
Can this gentleman name any country in the world that is governed by Muslim law, by Sharia law? Anywhere
By Sharia
in the
law.
world.
Okay, say it louder. Say it louder.
Oh, lost.
Hello, brother.
Hello. You asked me a question. I say that in terms of Sharia law, have you heard of slavery? It doesn't exist now. So will Sharia law be implemented regarding slavery? No. Right? Why? Because it doesn't exist.
I
So
have, I have a question because we do this quite often, and I see this pattern of not taking responsibility and always blaming others upon things that you feel uncomfortable looking back that you or your Islamic nation has done. Can you name right now any state that, in your opinion, is held by Sharia law today, right now? Any state that is Muslim, by your definition?
two degrees would be Indonesia, also in parts Pakistan, not 100%, Qatar, Saudi, because the law would be working like this. If within the condition of the society you're in, it is not something is not happening. For example, the slavery thing. If slavery is not happening the way it did before, what that means is those conditions regarding slavery wouldn't be implemented. That is a simple thing to understand. Right? I'm not trying to be like condescending or rude or anything. So Sharia is not implemented.
We feel very respectful person.
Very genuine too, I must say.
Sharia is not implemented anywhere for that. It's not meant to be in that degree 100% anywhere, right? Meaning this just what I said before, the slavery thing. So that makes sense. If that makes sense, if that doesn't make sense, I don't know. It's
So
around.
in any of these countries that you mentioned, where are the Jews that live there so peacefully?
They migrated. So a lot of people migrated. There's a lot of Jewish. There's a lot of actually in Syria. Are there not some Jewish people in Yemen?
Why did they decide to migrate, I wonder?
Because they were given opportunity, told to come to Israel. I think some people were. There's going to be history behind it.
Interesting theory.
There's going to be. It's not a theory.
Real estate, for real estate reasons?
Real estate. I don't know. Maybe there were pressures around them. People trying to get them to go to Israel. Entities within Syria. The desire for Israel to have more of a population in Israel and working in these countries, they would want to get these people and drag them into Israel. Just advertising.
That be the will of Allah?
Will that be the will of Allah? I think the will of Allah is to make sure humanity doesn't get towards the day of judgment. It's going to happen. It's going to happen no matter what. But the closer we get to that, right? When the nukes go flying, when things like that, I know this might sound far-fetched, but when that happens, everyone will regret it. How the day of judgment occurs? Tell me now. Once nukes start going flying, right? How you describe the day of judgment doesn't matter. No one will be alive to be able to tell the tale, right?
When Allah promised to bring the Jews back to their promised land, how do you think that was supposed to go about? What's the plan?
This was the plan, right? This was the plan. And this is my guess. This is my most. I've thought about this a lot. In terms of Jewish people in as a community, they work very well together. When they're within the United States, the UK, Romania, all of these places, they are very.
It's a network of Jews.
A network? No, I wouldn't say like any community where other communities, it's easy to people to join those communities. But for Jewish folks, they have their community and they very much, work with each other very well. And with that, as time goes on, continuously in every nation where you can possibly be as a community, they can get more positions in power, in government. When you rise up in government, in positions, right? And then
That's what we do.
And then, but the young people, and then, right, what happens is you get better policy, you can then condition people in their minds, in their education, in their...
What Jews did in Muslim countries as well? They rose up and decided to take over? Or did they only did that in Christian countries where Nazi Germany, maybe that's where they were prominent.
In Nazi Germany, I heard they were. I don't agree with Hitler. I don't like what he's doing. I don't like how people are now flexing him and showing him off now, because I don't know why. I wonder why people are doing that. They shouldn't be doing that.
What shouldn't they do?
They're flexing. They're flexing because of now they are feeling more greenlit and open to flex goddamn Hitler, right? Because of what's happening.
So you don't like the rising movement of neo-Nazism?
I don't like the rising movement of any form of extremism, right? So any form of extremism, if I saw an extremist amongst my own, I'll identify them, right?
To whom?
I'll just identify them. I just understand where they are, and then I'd try to take them away from any extremist thought. But if I was unable to do that, if I was Jewish, Muslim, or Christian, if I was unable to do that, and I was to see the extreme bodies as normal, I would say that's threatening towards my own people and my own family, right? If I was normalized to think this extreme group of people that are doing these extreme things are part of my own, I would then be bringing danger to my own people.
So what were we supposed to do? October 7th.
So October the 7th,
So
when it comes to October the 7th, the guards being there, right? The festival that was held, right? I was it the Times of Israel? There's a Israeli news reporting organization. It had said that a year beforehand, and maybe this is a security problem, right? Israel, the most secure place, technologically advanced, Silicon Valley and all this, the most secure place on October the 7th, had a festival, and the festival postponed a day after, postponed a bit longer, right? And Israel knew a year beforehand that there was plans going on. I don't know what kind of incompetent level of security malfunction that was on Israel's part. One of the most technologically advanced, very good with the technology, I had to be
What you describe now is the malfunction of the Israeli security establishment and the Israeli government as well. And I must say, the misconception that we suffered from a lot of years, and also the undermining of Hamas and their will to destroy us and not taking them seriously.
We're not going to take the group of people serious. Okay, I'm sure you take them serious.
We act with arrogance towards them, and they kick their ass. But they also act with arrogance towards us, thinking that once they're going to start that move, that will be the beginning of the end of Israel. And we know what happened. Now they can make the V sign, and behind them, there's no more Gaza. It's Allah didn't come to their help.
Right. So it's a mistake. Israel made a mistake about the enemy across who they see, who they hate.
Yeah.
They hate.
Yeah.
but a serious question for you, because you seem like a very intelligent and honorable person.
And also us, I must say.
Very honest. The thing is, I've heard of this argument, and I always keep asking myself, and maybe you can help me with this theory. If it were the other way around, if the fence would have fallen somehow and Israelis would have had the opportunity to go inside Gaza or inside Jordan, rather, or inside Syria or whatever border, okay?
Mhm.
Do you think it would have been logical or acceptable for them to even want?
Legitimate.
Would Israelis even want to do the things that Palestinians did? And I'm saying Palestinians, not Hamas, because elderly people cross the border with glee, kids with flip-flops, women just taking everything, stealing valuable electronics. I'm not even talking about murders or whatever. Just the simple, plain, ordinary people who just came in to steal and burn. What is that? Is that the society that's okay by Islam?
That society you talk of is very much surrounded. It does not have an airport. It does not have an established military. It's a country that's literally like boxed off, and their resources, their money is literally monitored by Israel. The land is not that. I could bike ride around Palestine. Like I can bike from the width of Palestine. I can bike ride from one side to another. I don't know how people can't watch that. The most technologically advanced country, Israel, can't watch that small piece of land. Right?
You know, that's my question. I'm talking about the civilians. By the way, the fact that Hamas dress as civilians is a very major factor, but let's just put that aside. Just talking about plain civilians that came through the border and stole things and burned things. I'm not talking about the murders and rapes and beheading and all that. But let's just say all that was Hamas. Let's just say, but plain people, is that the culture of Islam? Is that how it goes down when Islam rules?
When you got poor people, you got people who are like struggling, right?
You justifying them?
I am not justifying robbery. I'm not justifying robbery. I'm not justifying robbery or thieving. It's an ideal situation. There will always be opportunists around who went to war and fight. They always everywhere. Is that okay in Islam? People who are acting in a way where they're thieving, where they're robbing, where they're stealing, right? That in itself is something that takes place when conflict is about to arise. Around conflict, opportunists arise. People take opportunity. Are you characterizing the opportunists who are? I haven't checked this out yet in terms of people stealing, right? But people stealing when they see an opportunity to do so, that is not a reflection of Islam. That's your characterization.
Opportunity. Thieves steal when they see an opportunity, not regular people. And if theft is looked upon as a positive thing, or
theft is not looked upon as a positive thing. But theft is if I'm starving, or if I'm having issues, or if you're having issues. Now, by golly, anyone in these scenarios, right? If I'm in a situation where I'm resorting to, let's say, prostituting myself, right, or let's say I'm robbing, I'm not really in the best situation either. I would rather get that money in a halal way, right? But then at a certain point, I need to put food in my mouth. I need more of my desire is there for money as a human, right? Just like everyone else has desire for money, desire for food. That can end up overriding. That's not unique to Muslims. That's not unique to any particular identity.
Regular Gaza people who were by no means look like they were starving. They posted their actions in live videos on social media. That's to say they were proud, and not only were they proud, when you post something on social media, that means that you think that your peeps, the people who are following you, would approve of that behavior. That means there's a social dysfunction in Gaza. That's what it means.
When I see in the UK, I would see a roadman or someone as a Muslim. I don't care if I see a chav, if I see a roadman, if I see a person who is Muslim, if I see a person who is Christian or in name, right, or an atheist. If I see them acting in a certain way and they post on social media, I'm thinking this is goofy. This is goofy. As a Muslim, other Muslims are thinking,
the word goofy.
Why? I'm thinking if someone is going online and stealing, it's a criminal thing, right? If someone's, why are you assuming that a Muslim or a Christian or anyone like that, or Muslim would be in agreement with that? That's not normal. I would be like, what's the kind of mentality this person has? What's the economic situation? Why are they doing what they're doing?
Economic situation has nothing to do with it. They were clearly in a good state economically and physically. They were not starving. They were happy.
Starving is a bottom. Is that the line? Starving. They were not starving.
There is no justification for these actions. And if you post it online, if you showcase your actions, that means that you are proud of yourself and these actions, and that means that you think that those who surround you, your society members, would approve of these actions also.
Bro,
Means
that's your perception. If I see a Jewish person put on a dress of a woman, right, and IDF do that, should I start doing that when they post that online? By that logic, I'm gonna say now you agree with that. You both agree with that. I'm gonna start saying that you agree with IDF soldiers, and it's online. They're going the draws women, right? Those bounds of the home and privacy. You wouldn't want anyone to do that to you. You at least want some level of respect there,
Hey, I would say this. I denounced that. I think it was vile. I think it was not only tasteless, I think it was disrespectful for ourselves. But we can say that, we don't have to.
And I'm saying
I don't have to go and legitimize and justify that.
I'm not legitimizing and justifying it. When you're talking about soldiers who are getting McDonald's, right? Getting like free McDonald's from McDonald's, and you're talking about people who are stealing, like kids wearing flip-flops stealing in that situation. That's like two different situations, right? One can be understood in a light where these are these are civilians, and who knows what their situation is,
what their situation is. We can clearly see they're happy, they're jumping for joy, they're posting on social media, they think it's a festive event.
So would you like it if these things were switched upside down, yeah? And then
What would happen? I love this question. Please finish the question.
the question is if Israelis were in the situations of Palestinians, would you like it if I was to assume that this is Israeli society, they like stealing, right? And I'm not going to be considerate of the situational dynamic. I'm not going to actually, me being the person who's considered the one who's fighting them, right? Like this, Israelis and Palestinians are fighting where there's conflict, right? Would you like it if me, the person who's in conflict with the other person, was to tell you how those people feel? So if you were one thing,
As I just the question, and
I'm trying to pose it properly. If you guys will never hit each other, yeah. But if he was hitting you, right, and you were somewhere else, and I went to him and I was like, and he was like, yeah, she's all right. She's all right. She's perfectly fine. And then I never go to you for your opinion, right, or your side. How would that be good, or would that be just on my part? Or would I have to go to both people? Would I have to go to the Palestinian, or you're the Palestinian, you're the Israeli? Would I have to go to both and see what's going on? I'm not taking your word for it. And considered how the world is viewing Israeli society now, I'm taking the word.
finish because I'm really waiting patiently, and
I'm saying this. How can I take your word? How can I take your word for what you're saying about Palestinians?
I'll tell you why. We are a democratic, free society. We have freedom of speech, freedom of thought. We are not afraid of our government. We are not afraid of our military. We love them. And we can criticize them. I have seen zero people criticize Hamas and criticize these things that happened on October 7th from Gaza. In fact, the few people who are brave enough or morally aligned enough to criticize them found themselves beheaded, tortured, their family tortured, slaughtered,
Or outcasted from their society.
outcasted, ostracized, whatever. That's what happens in a dictatorship of evil. That's Gaza. That's the dictatorship of evil. We are a free, blessed nation that enjoy the blessings of God. You are doomed. That's the difference.
And I will add, unfortunately, because you guys, with all the flaws that you have a very good sense of belief, which is something that humanity needs. But your interpretation is so corrupted to your own holy scriptures. And unfortunately, a lot of arrogance and ignorance get you in a very, very bad place.
Broski, I look within the happiness that has been created for the moment, right? Within this dynamic where see things are very one-sided, it definitely one-sided, to be honest. Enjoy that, right? I wish for you guys to be happy within this bubble and space of time.
Amen.
I'm not gonna, but what I mean by this is that I don't know how long, with situation in the UK, in Germany, in the United States, how long those connections Israel has around it are going to
Hold up. It's gonna disintegrate. It's not gonna hold up. We know the ending of that story. The story you go to. We'll see you there.
No. You know what? Oh, I want to die. I don't want the world to get been destroyed by religious.
So, okay, we'll see you here and pray with us in the thunder symbol, inshallah.
You don't want the world to die from religious prophecies. Do you don't want to say for your future? God has not given religious prophecies, so we can go towards them. But let God do the judgment day.
Do you ever bother to read the Torah? You know that also your Quran legitimizes.
I went through parts.
You was aware.
No. I don't sit there.
We'll talk the Torah, and also our prophets are also your prophets. But I doubt that you even know what our prophets say about the future.
But I don't want to betray the name of prophets, right? And I don't think God wants us to go towards judgment day. I don't think that. I think God has told us to do good in this world, so we don't start building these things, start working towards that. Because that's when everyone passes away. And then everyone talks about heaven and hell. I believe in these things because I don't want the world to become hell. Right?
Let me say one thing.
You want to destroy the whole world.
Let me just say one thing. If Muslims that have such a notable devotion to praise Allah would not disclude or exclude or abolish the prophets of Israel from their own theology, and will just recognize that it's part of their theology, because our prophets are also your prophets, maybe this world could be a very, very harmonious and better place for everybody, not only for us, but also for you.
I can't.
This is what I say. You guys are addicted to war and resistance.
Not addicted to war.
You say that Allah wants humanity to do good things, right?
Yeah, but
Okay, I think that, pardon me, that your Islamic definition of good entails also that when they rape women and children and babies and elderly men, they say Allahu Akbar. Oh, that's a good thing. They do it in praise of Allah.
we literally told not to destroy tree in war and fighting, right? And I'm not a fighting combat guy. Yeah, so I read about that.
That's technique.
No, but I'm not saying it's God.
Questionable. And saying Allahu Akbar, when you do these things, that means that you dedicate these actions to Allah.
The Israelites were commanded. The Israelites were commanded to. What was that thing about smashing babies?
Just a simple question. Don't deflect.
I'm not defeating. Did he say that?
Saying Allahu Akbar when it isn't Mawlid, it's in Baileys, that means that you think Allah approves.
This is shock value. No, it doesn't. This is shock. What you're appealing to is shock value. No. I'm not saying it's between words in my mouth.
So that means it's meant to scare us.
I'm not saying. No, I've never said that. If I fail to find it, I'll put words in my mouth.
Scare us.
I never said
Say something else.
I never said this is allowed. This is happens. I never said shock. I'm saying what you're saying is to elicit shock value in others.
I don't want shock value. They scream Allahu Akbar whenever they slaughter people, and I'm trying to shock you.
Because you've just said something that's it wasn't nowhere in the Quran.
No, in the second intifada, when suicide bombers went inside buses, and before they press the trigger, when they see in front of them women, children, elderly, they say Allahu Akbar, then they press the button.
You're a hotel. What is it called? No, I'm the correct.
Question.
I will suicide shoot that in Haram. As a Muslim, you tap on the lives list. I don't know that. That's not allowed in Islam. That's not allowed. That's not.
But you know, okay, like, listen, again, it's again the process with violence and using I again.
The real it's not us, bro. You're not allowed to destroy harm trees. You're not allowed to harm children. You're not allowed to harm women. And that when it comes to combat, when it comes to fighting, right? In the past, Islam has the Quran speaks about these matters clearly.
Beautiful. So maybe you should read it.
So if you're mixing, you're throwing it out of context. King Faisal, you know who King Faisal was? He was his nephew unalived him. His nephew had a girlfriend. That nephew was funded by that was brought in by the CIA. Another thing that's proven as well is
Does that have to do with anything he's asked you so far?
because how closely is the CIA's
Conspiracy theories has done with Muslims who identify as Muslims, who blow themselves up, who slaughter children, while dedicating their actions to Allah. That's their version of Islam. You can make these actions right now. You can say, listen, I condemn these things. I don't approve of them. I'm not making excuses. I'm just
I'm not going to look at organization.
they're going to John Kerr.
You're looking at mercenaries. You're looking at mercenaries who are funded and trained by.
They're mercenaries. They're not jihadists. They're not going to Jannah.
But people who are part of ISIS, right? You look at who the money trail goes down to, who's been funding them, right? Who's been funding them, who's been deploying them, and those people who they control, right? Who influence.
So sad. It's so sad.
What's that? What do you mean? I said first of all, the Muslim been alive more children than Israel has. How long has it been unaliving children?
Yes. I mean, really, honestly, the real sad.
Sad.
It's that Israel has been murdering 0-year-olds.
That you
Zero.
You can't. You put them in the line of fire. You take all the money that you steal from European women, and you don't build shelters for your funding relation. You build shelters for your fighters. These are whilst putting babies in the line of fire. What kind of
Talk about justification. You're just trying to shoot children.
You're gonna have people that suffer from genocide refuse to take a ceasefire so long.
What do you mean? Israel broke the ceasefire. Yeah. What? Israel just broke the ceasefire. Like, what are you talking about? Islamic gangs in Islamic bound from Gaza.
Are your civilian? Where are your civilian?
Wasn't it Israeli hostage? Great.
Where are Gaza civilians?
You sent a word that was gave all the money to Hamas. Israel funded and helped Hamas. You know that's true.
Right. Did Gaza get any nickel, any dollar, any dime from any donors from Europe or the USA? Any money at all? Where did all the donations go?
We need
What
donations.
did you use them for?
Israel, firstly, the money goes through Israel. The money goes through Israel. What are you talking about?
Okay. How does it? What about the gate to Egypt? What about?
This is a locked land. How does money get to it?
It's in. Why won't the Egyptians take in the Palestinians from Gaza?
Those, if Palestinians go there, your Greater Israel project, right? You know the Greater Israel? That's what considers you are about it. Wait, but you about the babies, you about the babies. But you will unalive the Egyptian baby.
You mean
Israel will unalive the Egyptian baby. You will allow all the babies around in the land.
You mean the greater Israel that we gave back Sinai and Gaza, right? That's the greater Israel, right?
The Greater Israel, it goes from with Saudi, Syria. You want to unalive the people around. You want to send Hamas, you want Hamas to go there, she can offer you this.
We're very nice men. Honestly, I'm honest to say it. But I just want to say that, listen, we have such power over Palestinians that if it were our mission to slaughter babies, we would have done a better job.
It's out there. What do you mean would have done a better job?
Big Zion's had a job at genociding.
If it was for a mission,
We could have sprayed them. We could have ended
Either way, you know that they're all concentrated in one place in Gaza. We can make a mistake, couple of mistakes, and
What do you think? If that's permission, that's not a mistake.
but still, but
Carmen Dingle.
unfortunately, as much
What is going on, mate?
as much really as much as you are nice, you seem like a very nice person.
You guys seem like I think you're inside of you. Your hearts are beating, and you're feeling a burn in your chest because you know what you're saying. No, know what you're saying, and the disingenuity of it.
Sure.
And look, you can take your whole audience.
Plus, we're used to the deflection. We only care with it. It's okay. I expect that. I would be surprised if you will say like directly and
You didn't condemn IDF soldiers, though. You actually justified. You're saying that
For posting the thing with the lingerie, which is
and the shooting at that girl in the car. Do you have your bullets in your car? With that burned in the car. We know that story. What's her name? I forgot the name. There's a girl.
pass. Shall it pass for the 4-month-old baby that
Palestinian sniper shot them. They just say
No. You're just making stuff. I think
And it's mainly 1,200 people as alive, right?
the murders of our kids that we released.
Do you believe in the Hannibal Directive? It's made by the former security Bush of Israel.
we love our babies. We protect
Hannibal Directive. You know the Hannibal Directive?
our babies
Hannibal
as
Directive.
pawn in the game of whatever is.
How about Mia Shamel? What's her name? She was released. She came back, and an Israeli scorch raped her. Israeli hostage. An Israeli hostage was released back to Israel, right? And she was under with a cult. It's really close to
condemn butchers. Why can't you
from the very beginning. From the very beginning, I said
that during the Intifada when we were kids, I remember they used to be proud of the killing. What happened? They were proud.
Am I relying in a land?
Now you deflect and you blame the CIA. What happened?
I'm not blame. Excuse me. The way you're seeing those events that are occurring, the way your government has actually manufactured these events.
What happened to you guys? That's so sad. All that energy, all that effort.
You said, by the way, you said I think they condemn. I said from all organizations and groups where you see people amongst them unalived.
You lost. We won. You lost a lot. Is it for
you in peace? You do about peace when you're saying winning losing, bro. I'm talking.
Yeah,
Please surrender.
you have to know what it is to
Say what kind of thing is that to say?
That is high.
War. It's called war.
War,
And it's called winning. And
it's called winning, unaliving the baby, unaliving children.
We've cut the two topic through it.
No.
Refuse answer any of
I answered your questions. When you said at the very beginning, condemn
internet.
condemned IDF for burning the monks are
Condemn certain actions that the IDF soldier posted online. Certainly, yes. I will not condemn people. Our sweet soldiers who protect us and our children. We love our babies.
You love your babies. Are you sick?
Protect our babies in shelters. We protect our babies. We dress our soldiers as soldiers. We do not put babies in harm's way. We do not put bombs under cradles and in hospitals and in university.
You unalive your own fetal electricity.
Again, because you cannot give me a straight answer.
You're saying
Your actions are horrible and you cannot condemn them.
And it's also because even I'm working about one J, but you have to deflect and cannot take responsibility. But that's the culture that you.
You're one of the best.
Yeah.
You're not one of the best. Sounds like.
well, I'm not going to. I don't represent all of Islam. I'm not a flipping. I'm not going to have a basketball.
We represent Islam. When I wear this, I represent others. This is what I do.
There'll be Jewish people who differ and say you don't. They'll hear some of the stuff you're saying. They'll be absolutely like.
That many. I don't think.
You don't think?
We're literally this. I'm representing a Jewish cell right then.
Where are you settling? Where are you settling? Settle on where?
I settle on a hill that the Palestinians used to call the cursed land. no one was there.
You settled where someone else lives.
No Arab Muslim wanted to live there because they call it the cursed land. There was no one there. But when Allah wants to bestow His goodness and plenty on His children,
Allah's mercy.
came in, everything bloomed, and she succeeded, and we flourished there.
You know,
We have a great university, by the way.
yeah. And you know, by the way, if I will show you pictures of Jerusalem 100 years ago and pictures of Jerusalem now, you will see how much Allah cursed us.
Right. Again, you're associating it with material things. You're seeing this for a while now.
Afterlife is that we will build the third temple.
I just want one things to be bubbled, right? I want there to be a two-state solution. I want you guys to actually take, your society serious. What you want,
To stay to
what you want,
The solution, and guess what? We want all our land back.
you want all.
And if Palestinians accept our rule, they can welcome to live under our rule. Why not?
As they do in Israel.
What's happening, and what's going to happen is you're losing support from these nations around you.
We're rooting forward for people who never supported us to begin with, and we're gaining support by the Abraham Accords to other nations that used to be borderline.
I'm sorry, Saudi is now working with Pakistan more. People are reducing their relations with Israel, right?
People who
You bomb Qatar, you bomb Qatar, the same thing is what's happening.
are hyper relationship with us, and they see the light.
Yeah, because they see the light. When you're talking about the light, you're talking about the nuclear freaking bomb you want to explode, just what you're going.
Why would we want to explode the nuclear bomb?
Why do you, I don't know why you guys want this. I don't know why you guys are, like you want to destroy what's there. You want to destroy the Temple Mount or whatnot. Why would destroy that all?
Why would we want to destroy our most holy place?
You wanna destroy and build the third temple where that area is, right?
It will be house of prayer destroyed.
Call that destruction.
It will be.
You wanna destroy also build the third temple.
It will be well.
You wanna infringe on other people, right?
It will be house of prayer for all nations, and you're gonna join us and pray with us.
No.
It will be a prayer rule from all nations.
By the way, 100 years ago, the Muslims didn't have, the Golden Dome in the Dome of the Rock. Why wasn't not covered with gold up there like 60 years ago?
Well, I don't ask yourself this question. I don't know about the old home.
So why Jerusalem was so deserted and so neglected, and was it never a capital of any Arab entity? Why? And why now all of a sudden the Palestinians want to declare it as a capital after 1,400 years?
Because we're taking pride in empty rock and empty stone. A land that's empty with peaceful people, with good people that are not causing this level of conflict. Yeah, than a land of big flowers. Well,
Do what?
he knows.
We do what?
So I don't. So
We do what? Taking pride of empty
You're
stone.
taking, you're the third temple, all that you're building right now. You're seeing it from a very materialistic.
What is the Kaaba?
The Kaaba is the direction in which we pray.
Why do you pray the Kaaba? Isn't that a stone also?
It's the direction. And if it was the Kaaba was destroyed, that area there, it could be below a box would be built there again.
So
We're not praying. We're praying towards. It's like where all Muslims in the world pray in that direction.
Why do you circle? You don't pray, like so many people. Why?
Is that what
They say they did something bad, by the way.
it's good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
that's the tradition going on there?
And
It's empty.
So, but you
I don't agree with all the big clock tower next to it. I don't.
don't agree with the same standards that you criticize us also on yourself, no?
What area? The box. It's an empty area. It's empty. People are.
The Kaaba, what is the Kaaba then? Isn't that also a stone material something?
Yes, but it's
Yes, but
spiritual. There's a spirit.
that's spiritual. We're not spiritual.
When you're saying God has rewarded us with all this money, He's given us all this. Well, Allah, I don't look. Money brings attention. Money
God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
To be honest, man, to be honest, To be honest,
If Abraham existed now, if Abraham existed now, if Moses existed now, they would 100% be by my side right here. Yeah. They'd be like, someone like, well, these guys are. If Abraham, if Jesus, all these folks were seeing how you're moving now, right? They would not be agreeing with you.
I think that your prophet. I don't think that your prophet will be happy when this ummah resisting the children of Bani Israel coming back to their land and resist the words of the prophets that you're supposed to believe.
No. Where we've gone wrong and what we've done wrong is
Resistance?
our lack of insight or resistance.
You're taking blame for something. That's the first time in
That is the weakness in the Muslims part. Yeah, was to normalize with Israel. It was to do that. It was that we were too kind. That's the big problem. That's the big problem. Because if you're kind to people who believe in your control, you break contracts. You break contracts.
and raping and destroying and burning what we build. Yeah, your definition of niceness. Ooh,
This is literally projection right here. Biggest projection.
action. This is actually what Muslims did.
So if you believe that one group of people do this, and then you believe that. I don't believe. I think for geopolitical reasons, for economic reasons, people are conflicting. Religion is another aspect, right?
Is this conflict a religious conflict?
It's mixed in. It's a conflict for people to want to get interest in the land. It's a financial conflict for Israelis. You guys want wealth. That's all you want. It's all about the spiritual side. Actually, the more you want wealth, the more you detach from the side.
It's a stupid argument because if we were so smart, then this land offers no wealth whatsoever.
No resources.
No resources whatsoever. What kind of wealth? From the piece of sand and rock.
Why would the migrants from Europe and the Middle East come back to a deserted place and work so hard when there's no soil to do? Right.
You're a colonialist. You're a colonizer.
Israel has nothing to offer colonizers. It has the big
Influence in the land.
swamps and nothingness.
But
The area where Jesus and the prophet.
It's nothing to do with me.
Okay, it's nothing to do. Okay, you guys bound for his credit.
Nice to it's
You believe he's burning it. So tell me, like, yeah. The thing is, that land is important. It has a lot of religious emphasis there. And Moses,
this war.
And what for the mixture and what?
why is it became so important to the Muslims only 100 years ago? Why?
well, 100 years ago, that land was always in the
Jerusalem was never
oh, free. Why were we not there for 3,000 years?
Oh wait. The land was always what?
It's been ruled by Muslims. It was right, and now it's ruled.
Where's the golden rule of King David and Solomon under Jewish rule?
Golden rule of it's just like a story. Go on. What story? What story is it?
I mean, you have also in the Quran, Solomon and David, Suleiman and Dawood, they are kings, right?
No, I think so. Well, however it goes.
They identify as Muslim.
Did they believe in what a God?
And they judge their people according to which book?
Towards the original Torah that was not
The
corrupted.
same Torah we have today that you deny that
Is it the one that's not corrupted?
Yeah, no, but there was a point in time where they found sort of guys that
Nonsense, fake.
you have to deny the Torah. I understand. You have to be in denial. I understand. But why did your prophet judge the Jews in Mecca with the Torah above a pillow? Why?
What's this? What's this? Say that again.
It's in the Hadith Sahih. Prophet Muhammad, Sahih. Hadith.
Sahih Hadith about when it comes to Hadith and the talk of.
It's called Sunan Abi Dawud 4449. Why did Prophet Muhammad put the Torah above a pillow? And he gave the verdict based on the punishment in the Torah. You want to tell me that? You want to tell me that?
I heard a story like this. Maybe it's a story where there was someone who, a Jewish person, he reverted to Islam.
No, that wasn't. No.
The Prophet himself.
And what you made judgment on Jewish people, but depending on the Torah.
Yes.
And
that's
not.
by the way, it should be.
That's your. I do think I know the story. This I do have a gist of this. There was some
From your source, not mine. Your source.
someone's
Never been corrupted. The only religious book, in your opinion, that has never been corrupted, right?
Look, I'm saying that the people where the judgment was applied upon, that tribe, that Jewish tribe, the method of judgment was given to this person who reverted to someone who used to be Jewish, right?
But you're again deflecting from the real question. So could your prophet judge the Jews according to a fake source if he's the man of Allah? Can he judge them according to a fake source?
So did you want them to be judged by Islam?
No, but this is not the question. This is what we'll say. This is not the question. I think that actually your prophet
gave the duty to.
I actually think that your prophet knew that our Torah is real, like it is.
No. What happened there was the judgment or the decision was given to a former Jewish person.
It's illegitimate.
The Jewish person said, "Unalive them," right? Because that's what they would have done to you. So that's what the former Jewish person said.
It's sad too, because in his Quran, it said many times that the Quran came to confirm our Torah, but he has to delegitimize it.
A former Jewish
Muslim, a real Muslim, would agree that our Torah is real and not corrupted. Will respect them. Would respect the Torah and our prophets. A real Muslim would respect us as Jews, coming back by Allah's will to Allah, and that's it. That
not like
Muslim.
Not like
You will be.
not how your folks advice have unfortunately this work. I want Israel to be there. I wanted them to be there through literally the most peaceful means as possible, whatever available option is there to get there within a peaceful capacity, right? Not to be armed by the British and helped by the British, and then they'll be the Soviets is that they're just sending guns to goddamn.
Hey, Muslim countries are armed by the Soviets, so
the Muslim countries are armed by Soviets. Wait, Muslims fought against the Soviets. We talking about?
No, but Egypt and Syria, when they fight us, they were having arms by the Soviets.
The Soviets, our own nation, no mafia. Was there a mafia?
Well, wait, but to say it's illegitimate for Israel to arm by foreign forces, you are armed by foreign forces too, so.
Foreign forces, then mafia.
Yeah, but you're getting your arms by foreign forces, so do we, yeah?
Getting your arms from a flipping group that is criminal within America.
It's not fair to decide who's criminal, who's not. That's nice. That's rich.
The mafia.
We don't have that privilege to decide who's good, who's evil, who's mafia, who's not. That's nice. And that the British let Muslims pour into this land, to our land, under their rule, and they prohibited Jews from entering the land. They wanted to set up a death trap for Jews. It was their fault. But they let Muslims in and they kept Jews out. That's what the Brits did. So you got an advantage over us, but Allah Almighty decides who gets to win, and it's us.
Right. You're right. So if you in the position of me, let's say I was Jewish, right? If I was Jewish. No, man. I'm not actually. No.
What are you doing?
No.
I have the forms right here.
What you need to say is la Musa Rasulallah.
So what?
You're circumcised, so half the job done.
What I'm saying is that if I was within the position of entering that land and I had an objective, right?
What was your objective? Just let me write it down, because the objective to take control over the natural resources, which
it would be. I can see to get that land by any means possible, to get Israel by any means possible, to use whatever means.
Wait for unless we are body slave and we have no other alternative because that is the will of Allah. And even if there are no diamonds, no gold, no natural resources, this is our land.
This is how indigenous people act, by the way, when they come back to their homeland.
People happy with the
That is the most valuable piece. That is one of the most valuable pieces of land, past flipping all this resource stuff.
was deserted for centuries.
There,
Nothing happened.
aliens and aliens. In terms of the social power of that land, billions and
Years. This was abandoned for centuries. If you were not the landowners,
there's a spiritual connection.
squatters. You were just squatters. That's
Well, you were squatters. Okay, come on, man. You're Israeli. If you're Israeli, you've been traveling, you've been squatting in a lot of places. This is not like
right. And then whenever we squat somewhere, we don't amplify the beauty of the place.
we don't amplify the beauty of the place.
No, unless it's our land, unless we come back home, then we sweep the floors and we hang pretty things and we build things up instead of tearing them down because we're back home and we're happy.
Instead of tearing them down,
And we live here and we establish our homes here instead of just robbing the earth from its resources and taking it back.
but you just implicitly you just imply that if you're not back in your land, you're not gonna like do the civil thing everyone else does, right? And you're gonna rip everything down.
Others just you had nothing, no relationships to this land, and it showed. For centuries the place was barren and deserted and nothing was going on here because you were here, you were the majority. Still, Jews lived here all the while. Jews never left hold of this land because this is our home.
Right, they are Jewish people living alongside Palestinians, right? And if you look at like books before Israel, they title like Palestine. Who got them?
And
90 came around.
1929 massacred Palestinians who did not identify as Palestinians. Only about 45 years later did they identify as Palestinians. They murdered and burned and stole from Jews.
Do you know
Before the establishment of the holy state of Israel. Wait,
like throughout this conversation,
1936.
it's not so.
Israel,
I'm not saying one can happen.
Hebron, Jerusalem, Petah Tikva, the Galilee, Palestinians who did not identify as Palestinians, they're just Muslim Arabs from all sorts of places, from Turkey, from Jordan, which was not yet Jordan, from Egypt, the second name, wasn't it? The surnames of a Palestinian or Musli and Al-Qud and all sorts of, they're not here. They're
You've named
immigrants, that's what they are.
you've named events, and when atrocities are believed to be 100%, right, 100% the fault of the other, then
You know what? Take 40% to yourself. What percentage are you willing to accept upon yourself as your responsibility? You name any percentile.
I'm not Palestinian, right? I'm not Palestinian. I'm Muslim. I'm in the UK, right?
You're supposed
In terms
to
of
support
the percent,
Ummah, you're supposed to support them.
but I spoke about Yahtsees. I said I dislike Yahtsees. I said I wanted Israel. I would want Israel if it were to ever be established in
You
the
said the Nazis, but not the Hamas.
Hamas in terms of its entry, in terms of its ability to fight by the UN, wherever. Apparently, that group is able to, due to its oppression it's gone through, have the ability to go against an oppressor. Apparently, Nelson Mandela was
Nelson Mandela So listen, I have to go. It was really fun talking to you. Really.
No, no.
I'm already scrolling. We've heard it all.